And as promised, we deliver here at DMZ America podcast. We're back. It is Thursday, July 27th, 2023. I'm Scott Stantis coming to you from the right.
And I'm Ted Rall coming to you from the left.
So the last segment, we're going to look at actor Kevin Spacey was found not guilty of sexual harassment and inappropriateness and all sorts of other badness in a British court. I'm not sure what they call it. I'm sure they have. He's innocent of hunky dink and wiener wraps or something. I don't know what they call it different things. Anyway, I did not know this before this morning that this is the third trial he's gone through and been found innocent of. He's described it as clumsy advances. Allegedly, Kevin Spacey does like to drink once in a while and makes clumsy advances. He happens to be gay, so he makes clumsy advances to dudes. A third trial. And the question is, Kevin Spacey is one of my favorite before all this stuff happened and he effectively was denied work, is one of my favorite actors. The guy's phenomenal. I mean, he truly is just a phenomenal actor. And I've enjoyed his work over the years. Now, here's the question before us, Ted. He's talking about, and there was can he make a comeback? Can he come back from all? Are you going to be able, or is the viewing public going to be able to go to the movie, see him in it, and not think, oh my God, this guy, is lascivious, even though it's been proven he's not.
No, and I want to be clear here that Great Britain does not have the presumption of innocence that we have and take for granted here in the United States, and is truly a blessing to the history of jurisprudence. I mean, over there, if you are arrested and charged with something, it is incumbent upon you to prove your innocence. So so in other words, he's not just not guilty, he's been declared innocent. The jury has basically said, we do not believe that you, Kevin Spacey, committed these crimes. We think you are, as far as this is concerned, pure as the driven snow. So, and I have to say, having read some of the testimony here, it does seem that these were grifter dudes who basically were like, this.
Sorry about that. I forgot to turn on the air sign, and my wife came in to ask if I wanted a cookie. I'm not kidding. Ted, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ted. Continue.
Did you take the cookie?
I did. Look at this thing. It's gorgeous.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Those are giant chocolate chips.
Oatmeal chocolate chips. So yeah.
Send some of those fuckers up to New York.
Well, we'll bring them up there when we come for a visit.
They'll melt. It's like 95 degrees right now.
What is it here?
It's not like 95 degrees. It is 95 degrees.
Jesus, that's 97 degrees here. Okay, so Kevin Spacey, English courts, there's no presumption of innocence. The jury literally said this guy didn't do it.
And I think these guys lied. I think they were they thought that they'd be able to win an easy verdict because Kevin Spacey has a reputation of being a man whore and grabby. So he's lost everything, but he's still rich. So why not go after him? And of course, there's this the difference in British law. So this is a big deal. He also won a previous lawsuit brought in New York by that guy Anthony Rapp, $40 million lawsuit. So things are coming up Kevin Spacey these days, and they should be if he's innocent. I like the fact that he admitted that he's promiscuous, and his argument that does not make him a bad person, which is of course totally true. And I think that it'll be great to have him back before the camera because frankly, he's been missed. He is absolutely one of the best actors that has ever worked. And it's been a damn shame that he hasn't been around.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Well, guys, we picked a subject where we both agree. Damn it. But you're right. And he's
well, what other point of view could there be? Like, man found innocent in court, but fuck him.
Well, but that's happened before, Ted. You know that. I mean, look at Fatty Arbuckle was tried and found innocent, and his career was destroyed because he was at a party and apparently, a young lady was
I have no idea who that
killed.
is. I was
Fatty Arbuckle.
Is that like
Oh, that's right. At the site.
Fanny
Yes.
Arbuckle? He was the
Yes.
shortstop for the old Philadelphia Grabblers.
No, he was a silent film comedian, one of the top, I mean, as big as Chaplin at the time.
Mm.
Incredibly talented, very funny. And he was at a party, and apparently a young woman was, it was pretty much an orgy, and something happened and she died. They blamed him, and he was tried, and it became, headlines around the country. He was a big, big star, found innocent, but his career was, he was destroyed. And that can happen. I mean, it can happen here.
Well, probably was it destroyed because it was because of the revelations about his personal life and his proclivities?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And his proclivity was that
I think the fact that Kevin Spacey is a gay guy who likes to fuck young men, being a gay guy who likes to fuck young men isn't really that unusual these days. So
no. So, I mean, yeah. And I think you make a reasonable point. I'm just saying that it can happen, that the other side could have been, no, he's a terrible, disgusting, horrible person who should never be in front of the camera. It begs the question. I mean,
well, a lot of people said that about Johnny Depp, right? Even though Amber Heard clearly abused him, there are still some diehard man haters who think that Johnny Depp somehow did something wrong.
No, and there are guys who, especially earlier, I think it's probably less so today than it was a number of years ago, where you would just the charge itself would be enough to destroy your career. And
we live in a different era now. I mean, Gwyneth Paltrow publicly belongs to a sex club in Los Angeles, and in fact divorced her husband because he didn't like to swing with her. I mean, and that's like sort of known, and people are like, okay, whatever. And she's still Gwynny. She still has goop. It's all right.
But
and it should be. Honestly, it's nobody's business.
It is nobody's business. But here's where it is someone's business, and here's where things are getting dangerous. And that's the far right, especially the incel guys and the QAnon and the charging with. We have a cartoonist friend who participates in this, quite frankly, and where they say that transgender, especially, they say they are just grooming young children for nefarious reasons. And
well, to get back to our previous thing, here's an example of something for which there is forget about no proof. There's no evidence for this.
No,
there's no reason to start to think about this because there's no there at all.
But they lay these titles now. It's being smeared against people who they disagree with. There's a cartoonist in Marshall Ramsey in Mississippi. They had to rescind this, and but an operative for a conservative candidate, called Marshall Ramsey a groomer. Which is like, yeah, what? Exactly. Yes.
What are you talking about?
Publicly on Twitter, use that very phrase.
Based on?
Because the guy was a fucking QAnon nutbag and was.
Well, I gotta say, tell Marshall to drop me a line. I know some defamation lawyers who are quite good. He should sue.
I agree.
That shit's going to be on Twitter/X forever and ever. It'll be there forever. His after he dies, it'll be there. And I'm sorry, that shit's unacceptable.
No, it's totally unacceptable. But if it becomes broadly known, and what do you do about that? You say, no, I'm not. I mean,
you're smeared. You have the slime on you.
Yeah, forever. And that's a horrible thing to have.
Still fucking sue.
Oh, I agree. I think I couldn't agree more. So I'll pass on after we're done with this. I will.
I mean, because you can't let it go.
No, but it used to be that you could smear somebody with something and it would destroy them. And true or not, especially, I can tell you back in my day when I was young, if someone was painted as gay, they would never be in films again. If Rock Hudson had been outed, he would never have been able to work again. True. I mean, so with Kevin Spacey, is he in the same place? I guess we've moved forward, moved away from that. And the fact that, he likes young guys, but legal age guys. And he
has the most, and I just want to say he has the most contemptuous voice in acting.
I
Uh,
know.
do you know my? Did I ever tell you my my Kevin Spacey story? My
No,
encounter with him in the mushroom
no. In the mushroom aisle, is that what you just said?
mushroom aisle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Oh, okay.
so
That's
what
not
happened?
metaphor for something, is it?
No, not really. He
Okay.
was he was I know that's a Stormy Daniels reference to Trump and his mushroom shaped
Yeah.
thing. Dick, that's the word I was looking for. So yeah, because I can say that here. Anyway, schlong, penis, whatever. Anyway, so he right when everything really hit rock bottom for him and he had completely dropped off the face of the earth and he had been fired from House of Cards on Netflix. By the way, I wonder kind of like who gives him back his career. It's kind of like who gives him
Yeah.
back like that, what happened to him. It's kind of gross how, you know, these companies that make millions and hundreds of millions of dollars off of you cut you loose at the first sign of trouble. And then even if it turns out that they were wrong. And I mean, I think it's like, look, let's just say he was a horrible rapey dude. Then let the justice system come after him and put horrible rapey dude in prison and or fine him. And but that's not his boss's business. And there shouldn't be a morals clause. This business of firing people because of shit that happens outside of work is just gross. But anyway, he was. So I went to the supermarket in Nassau County on Long Island. It was an Asian market. I waddle in there and looking for Chinese mushrooms, which are dried Chinese mushrooms for a recipe. So I went to the regular produce section, but I couldn't find them. So I finally found a guy who escorted me to the dried section. I got the bag. I'm in line waiting. I'm on my phone. I'm waiting for the cashier. This is during high. God, when was this? I'm gonna say this was maybe 2019. Anyway, or early 2020, but anyway, maybe 2019. Anyway, could have been. I don't remember. It's when when he got fired from Netflix. Anyway, I hear this very distinctive voice behind me, this very familiar, extremely contemptuous, sneering voice. And he goes, he's too close to me too, like too close. And he goes, you do realize, don't you, that they have fresh shiitake mushrooms? And I'm like,
I can hear
so
him say that.
I turned around and I look at him and I'm like, holy shit, it's Kevin Spacey, the actor, the shamed actor. But I didn't say that because as a New Yorker, we know not to acknowledge people's celebrity or infamy or both. And so I just said, I didn't say, yo, Kev. I just said, well, I do know that, but I came for these. And he just looks at me like, and I was like, all right. And so then he was still too close to me, you know, like in how some people are too close to you in the line.
Yeah. Well, you are kind of cute. Let's be honest.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I'm a little old for Kevin, but anyway, I was sent. So then I went out into the parking lot and I opened up my Twitter and I was about to be like, guess what fucking happened to me? And then I thought, this guy needs his privacy. Leave him the fuck alone. He's hiding out here. I'm leaving him alone. And so that's it.
That is so funny. I don't have a Kevin Spacey story, so good for you.
I win the Kevin Spacey sweepstakes today. Thank you. Thank you.
Way to go. Okay. Well, I didn't know we were going to have this competition. Damn it. I lose again. Anyway, okay, let's wrap things up. Ted, where can we see all things Ted or hear all things Ted?
You could go to rall.com, my personal website. You can go to whowhatwhy.org on Saturdays, sputniknews.com on Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually. GoComics.com/Ted Rall. You can also find me on Centerclip, which is the app that, of course, Scott and I are both on. It's basically micro podcasts is the best way to describe it. Little rants, a few minutes about various political topics. And and of course, I shouldn't forget my radio show Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, called The Final Countdown, co-hosted on Sputnik Radio. You can go to Rumble and just search for my name, and it'll come right up, and you can listen to it even if you're not listening live.
And by the way, that's 10 to noon Eastern time.
Eastern American time.
Yes.
Not communist time like in the mountains.
America. And it's really worth, I mean, you and your co-host Manila Chan, do a great job.
Thank you.
Really
Scott is a frequent guest.
Well, there's that elevates it to like a orgasmic level.
At that point, it becomes fucking ridiculous. I mean, that's like that would be like for Kevin Spacey, like, you know, a party full of boys who just turned 18 a minute ago.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Not 17.99.
No, I got it. No,
0.00.
We all understood what you meant, Ted.
That joke would have been different before today's verdict. Just say.
Very, very different. If you want to see my work, you can go to gocomics.com as well. Go gocomics.com/Scott Stantis, one word, or go to gocomics.com/Prickly City. You can go to chicagotribune.com/opinion and see a gallery of my work there. I am also on Center Clip, which is, like Ted said, they're mini podcasts. I posted a lot today for some reason. Apparently, like I said, there was a lot of sugar in my dessert for lunch or something, whatever it was. There you go. So for all of us here at the DMZ America podcast, I want to say farewell. We'll see you next time. Ted, thanks, man.
Thank you, Scott.
Adios.